Plein les yeux, plein les oreilles, c'est Metal Express numéro 36, l'émission qui dépucelle les tympans. Avec ce soir un numéro très spécial puisqu'il sera exclusivement consacré à la Vierge de Fer. Je veux parler non pas de Margaret Thatcher ou de la Reine d'Angleterre, mais d'Iron Maiden. Au sommaire des interviews exclusives de Steve Harris et Nicko McBrain, un historique réservé aux moins de 15 ans, l'âge du groupe, une pincée de live et une poignée de clips, dont le tout nouveau issu du 10e album des potes de Eddie, Fear of the Dark.
Oh, you filming already, you cheeky person? Right, well we're heading on over to this part of the world, and your lens cap is furiously dirty. There's finger marks all over your lens. There is, I ain't kidding, there's finger marks. Look, there's 2 finger marks, one there and one there. You better clean it. Hi, Nicko McBrain from Iron Maiden here. We're joining you from the roof of the Portchester Bars here in London on the very eve of the Iron Maiden premiere playback. Not release, but premiere playback. And we're with you on Metal Express, Channel M6.
Since 1983, I mean it's only really like before the last album that Adrian left. But now Yank's joined. I mean hopefully this will be the lineup, you know, till we finish. But I mean, I can't foresee the future. I mean, the only reason people leave is because, I mean, like with Adrian, for instance, his passion wasn't there anymore. And there's no point carrying on in a band if you're not 100% into it.
All right, let me see those hands in the air, everybody, come on! White man came across the sea. Brought us pain and misery. He killed our tribes, he killed our creed. He took our game for his own need. We made him hurt, we caught him well. Out on the plane to sing it. White man came to punch the cream. Oh, will we have...
Des tournées successives avec Kiss en Europe, Trust en Angleterre, UFO aux États-Unis et en solo au Japon permettent d'épurer le groupe. Devenu junkie, Paul Di'Anno ne fait pas de vieux os au sein de Maiden, qui lui préfère pour son 3e album Number of the Beast, le charismatique Bruce Dickinson. Après une tournée mondiale triomphale, on assiste à un nouveau changement, plus douteux celui-là puisque le batteur de Maiden, Clive Burr, est échangé contre celui de Trust, Nicko McBrain.
When I fell out with Trust and things fell around them and I was asked to leave the band, it was after a French tour together. We finished somewhere in May. In fact, the last gig I played with Trust was on June the 5th, 1982. And it was in Cologne for the Rock Palace, and we played with Golden Earring. It was my last ever performance with Trust. Well, I then we parted company, and then about 2 months later, I was asked to join Maiden. But I didn't join Maiden until 1983. But when I left and Clive, he wasn't with Maiden anymore, I suggested to the management, to my Maiden's management, offer the gig to Clive to go to Trust because obviously I knew they were going to still need a drummer. And that's how that happened. And he went and did an album with them, and that was it.
Ce sont toutefois les 2 albums suivants, Peace of Mind en 83 et Power Slave en 84, qui permettent enfin au groupe d'accéder au statut de superstar. D'ailleurs, les 2 disques se hissent successivement au sommet des charts internationaux. En 85, la tournée mondiale de 300 dates, baptisée le World Slavery Tour, permet en outre au groupe d'engranger une impressionnante collection de clips vidéo, tous tournés live.
You
don't really enjoy making videos that much. I mean, that's why we normally do live videos and stuff like that, because we find it pretty difficult just to sort of act or whatever in a video. I think Bruce could do it because he has a manner that he can do that sort of thing, and he's done acting a bit, and he can do that. But I think the rest of us find it pretty difficult to sort of act in a video, really. So that's why it's always very difficult for us to find something to do in a video other than live, But I don't know, maybe we experiment a bit more now because I think we have to. I think we've done too many live ones, and in the end becomes like too much the same. So I think we have to try and look at different things, but we don't find it easy.
À l'époque de cette gigantesque aventure, Maiden et sa mascotte Eddie, qui sur scène mesure 6 mètres de haut, font beaucoup de bruit. Le système d'amplification utilisé par le groupe au cours de ses concerts dégage en effet une puissance totale de 150 kW. Mais à force de rejouer les mêmes sempiternels Trooper, Running Free et 2 Minutes to Midnight, on aurait pu craindre quelques traces de lassitude.
People have said, well, how do you go on tour, you play 300 shows, and 300 times you perform the same songs. Don't you ever get tired of those songs? Well, the answer in a word is no. If the day you get tired of playing those songs, you might as well forget it, because it doesn't have any meaning anymore, and therefore you're not giving it what it really is your heart and your body and your spirit. Number of the Beast onwards, all kind of changing. We got to the ultimate concept album, and then No Prayer for the Dying comes out, and it's back to basic square root, the hard rocking, quick songs, bit raw. It was rough around the edges. Sonically, sound-wise, it wasn't as good as anything else that we called it.
But we're not really inspired by like funk metal or rap metal. Just doesn't really do anything for us. So we don't feel inspired at all by that sort of music to write material like that. So we just do what we do, and we do what we like. And we don't worry about what other people think too much. We just worry mainly what we like first.
Stupeur et consternation dans les camps des disciples d'Iron Maiden. Après Adrian Smith, c'est Bruce Dickinson qui en 89 annonce son intention de mener un projet solo. Les vacances forcées d'1 an que s'étaient accordées les membres du groupe semblent se transformer en naufrage. D'autant que les rumeurs les plus saugrenues commencent à...
Solo album, and he went out on a tour, and he wrote songs that were different to Maiden, that weren't really... You'd associate a solo album from Bruce as perhaps being in the Maiden mould, but it really wasn't. A Tattooed Millionaire album wasn't anything like Maiden. But from that, he learns things, and the same with Davey and Yannick. So it's a healthy thing to do. I think any musician that can't really get out and jam, or doesn't really like. I'm not saying that Steve's wrong for that, I know, but he does jam, but we play something he knows. Do you see what I'm saying?
Tout rentre dans l'ordre quelques mois plus tard avec l'intégration de Yannick Gers, le guitariste du projet solo de Bruce Dickinson, qui devient le successeur en titre d'Adrian Smith. C'est sous cette formule qu'en 90, Iron Maiden confectionne son 9e album, No Prayer for the Dying. Un retour aux sources et en force qui se traduit par une tournée anglaise sold out en 2 heures seulement.
And it came in on the last album, and all the songs were already written. And we just went in and recorded it very live and everything. But this time round, he collaborated with Bruce and myself, and I think his writing is a real good asset because he's a very strong writer, and he's also the direction is slightly different to us what we've done before. So it's very it's challenging really to work on songs like that. They're a bit different, and he finds it challenging working on our material anyway, because it's a different style to what he's been used to playing before. So all round, it works very well. And his enthusiasm is just like unbelievable, he's so into it,
I've been in the band 9 years, and it's 9 albums, 10 albums down the road for the band. This album is like, to me, No Prayer for the Dying, when we got that together, that was like we're back and we're still hungry and it's like our first album. This one is like our second album, you know, and it's better than the first one, you know what I mean?
She fell in love with this crazy machine. She leaned over what can't start clean. She'd never seen the beast before, but she didn't want it more. When she was walking on down the road, she heard a sound that made her heart explode. He whispered to her to get on the back. I'll take you on a ride from here to eternity.
Caprice de star ou rêve d'enfant, Steve Harris s'est fait installer un studio d'enregistrement hyper performant dans son manoir britannique. C'est évidemment l'endroit qu'a choisi le groupe pour concocter son nouvel album, Fear of the Dark.
One of the reasons is purely a selfish one from my point of view, is that I spend more time in the studio than any of the rest of the band. I'm in there every day from the beginning to the end of the album. So for me personally, it means me being away for like 4 or 5 months at a time if we record an album. And so now I can record at home. It means that, you know, I'm at home for all that time. And I don't have to be away from my family, you know. I mean, obviously when we go on tour, I'm away from my family a lot as well.
Your fans, they're going to know that things aren't right. They're not silly, you know, and if they see their favourite band up on stage and they're like this, you know, a little bit depressed or not really wanting to be there, you're not going to pull the wool over. Even though you may play a blinding show, a set, you know, you play good, and you've got to still love it, and love it with a passion.
Mis à part un heavy metal sonnant et trébuchant comme au premier jour, l'autre innovation de taille sur Fear of the Dark, c'est le limogeage inattendu de Derek Riggs, le créateur du monstrueux Eddie qui avait illustré les pochettes de tous les maxis, tous les t-shirts et des 9 albums d'Iron Maiden.
We asked 4 different artists to try to do the artwork for the album, just to see what different ideas people would come up with. Still with Eddie, of course. And Derek's wasn't the best one. I mean, the best one was a guy called Melvin Grant. So, you know, that was it really. I mean, it doesn't mean to say that we won't be using Derek in the future. And he'll still be doing artwork for t-shirts, for this tour and stuff like that as well. But he just wasn't the best one. There's always a pressure every tour to come up with something that's going to be, you know, different or good or what, spectacular or whatever. But I mean, that's why in a way on the last tour we sort of scaled it down a bit because it was all getting a bit crazy, you know. And we just decided to go out there and prove to ourselves, if nothing else, that we can still do it without all that stuff. But this time, because we'll be doing Monsters of Rock in you know, outdoor festivals and stuff, like we'll definitely be putting a stage production on. Maybe somewhere in between the last one and something else, as far as like not too over the top, but still, you know, hopefully a good one anyway.